right, we are recording. Today is April 28th, 2022 at 2:12 p.m. We have Detectives Martin and Tolliver here. We have Saint and counsel. Mr. Saint, have you had a chance to run through the proper letter with counsel?
Yes.
And after speaking to counsel, are you still in agreement to talk to us?
Yes.
Before we get started today, I just want to ask you, have I made you any promises to date?
No.
Have I made you any promises as it goes to your plea agreement?
No.
Have I made you any promises as it goes to sentencing?
No.
All right. Before, when you were sitting here with counsel, did you have a chance to review a statement that you had previously given to detectives?
Yes.
And is that a statement that you gave with everything that had gone down the day that you shot a gun?
Yes.
Do you agree with what's in that statement?
Otherwise than the part of me saying that Antoine stood over top of him.
Okay, so everything else about the statement you agree with?
Yes.
Okay. Clarify what you mean about the part of the statement where you said Antoine said, I stood over top of him. What's wrong with that part of the statement?
I thought that by saying that he stood over top of him, it would help me later on in the case until I found out that the gun that I possessed was the murder weapon and I did in fact kill Mr. Nafis. And I after going over the statement and after having 16 months to think about it, I really think that I didn't recall it correctly, and I think I was just saying it to my benefit. And I actually believe that Mr. Antoine did not tell me that he stood over top of him, but that he did tell me that he shot after I left, and I did hear a gunshot.
Who is Mr. Antoine?
Antoine is a friend of mine for pretty much over 10 years. A friend of mine that was there that day that he was fighting with Mr. Nafis for the weapon after everybody ran and after the gun was dropped and Mr. Nafis got up with the weapon. Antoine sat there and tried to wrestle the gun away from Mr. Nafis, tried to help everybody else around us by not letting, because who knows what Mr. Nafis would have did that day if he had the gun and would have did what he did. At the end of the day, I can't say what we did was in the right or was in the wrong. I won't sit there and speak on that right now, but I know he had the intentions of helping us and trying to save himself and save me and other people that were there that day.
What is Mr. Antoine's full name?
Antoine Harrison.
Where does Antoine live?
He used to live over there on Ditman Street. I don't know the exact name, the exact numbers to the address, but they used to live on Ditman Street over there in the Frankfurt section of Philadelphia.
Why'd you guys go down there that day?
We went there because we got a call that somebody was talking reckless about us, about our neighborhood, and we just went over there to go rough somebody up.
Who's we?
Me, my friend Sunday, Antoine, Raheem, Shaheed was with us. There's more, but if I sit there and see them on video, I can point them out.
Do you remember who got the call?
It was Sunday.
And whose idea was it to go down?
It was Sunday's.
Who's Sunday? Do you know his legal name?
Sunday is Raheem.
Did Antoine specifically have any problems with anyone down on that block?
No.
Do you remember who, well, we'll watch the video. Do you know where Antoine went after everything went down?
He went with me. We went back to my home on Warnock Street and we got rid of the clothes, we got rid of the guns, and I think my chick went and called him an Uber and he got out the city that night. I don't know where he went after that, but I know he took his time to get himself situated and out of the city that night.
How come you brought a gun down there that day if you were just going to rough someone up?
I always carried a weapon. I was just 20 at the time. I just turned 21 the week prior. I meant to get a legal gun. I wanted to, but as you know, the streets of Philadelphia aren't as safe as they should be, and I always carried a weapon, even though I knew I wasn't supposed to, but I did at the time. I know I was wrong now, and I see what those dangers can do and what those things can lead to. And I wish that I didn't have a gun that day because I wouldn't have been able to make that decision.
Anyone else have a gun on them that day?
No.
When you say we got rid of the guns, who else had a gun when you got back to your house?
Antoine, I picked up the gun that Mr. Nafis dropped.
Did he tell you that specifically, or did you just deduce that?
I seen it.
Anything else?
Show you a photo, okay? Single photo. See who that is?
I see Antoine.
You get the identifier? I do. So for the record, it's going to be Antoine Clark Harrison, OLN of 33467520. Date of birth 2/22/2000.
Alright. Can we have him sign
Yeah.
single? We're just gonna have you sign the date. The single, alright?
Yeah.
Alright, Mr. Saint, we're now gonna watch the video. This, for the camera, is a draft by, I believe it was Detective Lucky.
Yes.
And over top of it does say, not for court draft. Okay. And I am starting it, 21 seconds in. I'm gonna bring this down to you, all right, ma'am? Before I press play, you see your car on camera.
Yes.
All right, which one's your car?
The white Dodge Avenger.
All right. All right, who's getting out of where?
On this side, Raheem just got out, otherwise known as Sunday.
And that's the passenger side?
That's the passenger side. Can we go back a little bit so I can see the faces a little bit better?
Is that back far enough?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're back to 21 seconds.
That's, let me see.
Yeah, and if you, listen, if you can't identify anyone at the moment, only when you recognize people, identify them.
Okay.
How many cars did you guys bring down there that day?
It was two.
Who's in the other car? Only if you can identify.
I can't see the faces.
All right.
yet.
Do you know who drove the other car down?
All he goes by is Herbo. That's what I know him by. He's a friend of Antoine's.
Did you say Turbo or Herbo?
Herbo. Herbo. Right here. This is the young boy I was telling you about, Steve.
The kid, are you pointing at the, what
That's
color
the one that
shirt?
made the call, the white shirt.
Okay. He made the call to Sunday?
He made the call. This is Shahid.
What's Shahid wearing?
Shahid's wearing a black shirt, looks like a black hoodie. I'm trying to see. looks like a black, what's the word? Like a zipper up. I'm trying to think of the word for it, but it's like a black jacket, and he's wearing black jeans. There's Antoine.
And where is Antoine?
Antoine is trying to get the gun from Mr. Nafis.
And where are you?
I'm running until I turn. I see that Antoine's in trouble. The young man right there that called my attention back to Antoine, his name is Nafis too. They call him Nana.
And that last person to run off, who was that?
That was Antoine.
Okay. Excuse me. A little bit earlier when we were talking about you correcting what Antoine said when you got back in the car, do you have any concerns about giving up names? Like, are you nervous to give up names? Are you fine to give up name? Like,
I'm nervous.
You worried about
or-
your safety?
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. It's not for my own safety that I worry about. As I told the detectives, it's my family that I worry about that has to still live in that neighborhood. I've done good for myself. I still have a career that I can turn back to, and I have me and my wife, with my fiance, we live in a different section of the city, so I don't have to literally go back to that neighborhood, but my family still lives in that neighborhood. And that was my reluctance not to tell you everything that I knew. But at this point, it seems like it's pretty much in my best interest to do so.
You guys have anything? Anything else you think you need to know?